All right, welcome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For those of you watching the recording on YouTube, my name is Jean Collins, and we're going to chat today about hormones and really how to support your hormones, as well as understanding what the function of your hormones are, because they do quite a bit and it's a lot. And in today's society, we actually have a lot of hormone disrupting products and toxins that were just grandfathered in. And that's kind of how I got started. So I used to get sick all the time. I had pretty much a sinus infection, flu, pneumonia, bronchitis, and just like repeat. It was a constant thing from literally a baby to young adulthood. And with that, I eventually, my mom actually found Young Living through my little brother, Javier, who's adopted from Guatemala. He had really bad night terrors. And so she'd already used essential oils. So when her friend sent her some from Young Living, she just kind of tossed them aside because she was like, I already know about essential oils. I eat healthy because we did. I was raised to eat organic, take herbs, and the only thing we didn't really do is we used what I call crappy cleaners because we just didn't know any better. So but one night during Javier's night terrors, my mom grabbed the Young Living essential oil samples she got from her friend, and they worked. In about 20 to 30 minutes, from my brother freaking out, huddled in the corner, clothes torn off, because he was about 16 months. He calmed down, and then he fell asleep for 8 hours. See, the other thing was he hadn't been sleeping. He'd only been doing 1 to 2 hour naps. And as a 16-month-old, that's not normal. So he later got diagnosed with autism, and we did therapies. And then we also used the 12 ancient scripture oils. Now it's called the oils of ancient scripture, and some other things to make sure that he has his Ningxia red and green bars. We did a lot of green bars, but that is also part of my story and how I got started with Young Living. I also not only got sick all the time, but I had what I called pizza face acne. You guys can see I have really good skin now. Actually, I just got a compliment when I was at a mix and meet tonight about, she's like, you look even younger. And I'm like, it's my Young Living product. She's like, I know, I need to get some, but it is. And also though, I take care of my body internally, right? So it's quite a bit. The reason why I also choose Young Living is because I got to plant lavender and yarrow and clarity sage and helichrysum and German. Well, actually, I can't remember if it was German or Roman chamomile, but we have 14 farms internationally. So this is just a little picture book. We really, actually in our Mona farm, they use sheep to weed our farm. They experimented with that in a section and it worked really well. But everything is toxic free. Everything is organic. It's really beyond organic because we do not spray anything on the farms at all. So that's just a little bit of a background in our Seed to Seal. For those on YouTube, you can go to seedtoseal.com. It's in the link below, or you can click on my website and go to the farms and look at our beautiful farms throughout the world. And we do have some partner farms. Now, hormones. So hormones are the messengers in your body. They literally help regulate your metabolism, growth in general, development, so puberty, the tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep, and mood. We can all attest to, especially the mood when for us women, when our hormones are fluctuating during a monthly, right? The cool thing is though, there's a way we can support it all. There's actually multiple ways. And I'm going to give you guys a lot of solutions. You're going to probably have to be a little bit of an experiment and or consult your naturopath or your doctor, because obviously I am not a doctor, to help you really move forward on supplements and making sure. See, not only did in 1976, there were 65,000 toxins grandfathered into our environment. They were just like, oh, no testing, no nothing. Or there's also some that get into the system, and it's like, oh, it's only a little bit. But we've all seen a leaky roof or a leaky sink. That cup, that bucket fills up quick, even if it's just a little drop. So it's the same thing in our body. We can bioaccumulate these toxins, and they can get stuck in like our liver, our colon, and then that just starts affecting all of the other immune systems or other systems in general, but especially our immune system or our colon. Our gut health is actually, it produces our energy, it helps with sleep. Our gut health is so important. I just did a class on spring cleansing, and some of you had mentioned, those of you that are alive, some issues. I really encourage you to also do a cleanse, as well as some of these supplements, because a lot of probably most of you need to cleanse. The cleansing trio, I'm doing that right now with the cleansing trio, and I'm happy to talk with y'all after what I'm doing and or email it to you specifically. But that is going to help, because if your gut is stuffed up, right? Like think of like when your head is stuffed up and you're not having regular bowel movements, and really we should have at least 3 a day. And some of you guys might be like, what? I get maybe one every other day. Some people, who 1 a week. No, dude, we need to have our bowel movements. If that isn't working properly, the rest of your system is out of whack. So a little bit about that, but literally our hormones can, if we don't have everything under control, we can have migraines, insomnia, weak bones, weight gain, hot flash, all of the things, right? It creates this imbalance. So our endocrine system, which is basically the chemical messenger system, right? It's telling the body, it's the glands that make the hormones. So it's the thyroid, parathyroid, adrenals, pancreas, ovaries, and then of course the testes for men. Those are all creating and helping regulate our hormones throughout our body, right? These messengers that are made by the glands then secrete directly to the circulatory system to help maintain our healthy body. But if something's out of balance, it disrupts everything. So with that, the liver is also kind of a part of the system, but not really. It just plays a really big role in secreting the hormones from the blood, from our blood. The hypothalamus, the pituitary gland are kind of like a team. So if the pituitary gland is damaged, like if you have high blood pressure, lactation problems, water, temperature regulation, like who gets hot and cold quite a bit, right? Sometimes also in the winter, that could just be like your immune system fighting something off. But if it's like been a constant thing that you've been hot and cold, then you really need to look at and support your pituitary gland. How you're going to do that is with lavender vitality and frankincense vitality. So the vitality line are the white labels, but here's lavender and frankincense. And you're going to take you're going to take a drop of each and put it on the roof of your mouth. I'm going to show that with peppermint. You could literally like just put a drop on your tongue. Also, essential oils are really concentrated. 1 drop of peppermint equals 28 cups of peppermint tea. I've been using essential oils for quite a while. So this is how usually to get it to the roof of my mouth. What I do is I take a drop of peppermint, the vitality, right? Lick. And then I hold it for like 10 seconds. That was really 10 seconds, but you get the idea. So you could do that, or you could just drop it on your tongue. With you dropping it on your tongue, I gotta drink water. Peppermint strong. The other cool thing is if you have any sinus issues, this is going to help open you up. You're going to be like, what? So if anyone has any sinus stuff going on right now, It's also a nice breath freshener. It'll help open you up and get all that gunk out of your system. The lavender and the frankincense are the ones, though, on the roof of your mouth 4 to 5 times a day. Also, omega Gi's is our best supplement. Omega Gi's is fatty, it's omegas, right? Fish oil, CoQ10. It's just amazing for our brain health and just is perfect. So the thyroid is directly, it's a direction of the pituitary gland and creates hormones that boost metabolism for every cell. You guys, every cell in our body. A lot of us are having hormonal issues, and we're also lacking in enzymes. Enzymes are so huge for us as well. So that cleansing trio also has essential zyme as part of it. Just a little thing that I think everyone should be on. We have 4 different types of enzymes. So we'll talk more about that later. With the thyroid, Endoflex essential oil is the best. So this is Endoflex Vitality. I noticed, actually, I had another oil pop up, Lady Sclerol, which is also really good for our hormones, Lady Sclerol, but I didn't have it. So I was like, dang, well, what do I know it's good for hormones? What do I have? I have Endoflex Vitality. So I took a shot of Ningxia Red with a drop of my Endoflex Vitality, and voila. This, because our hormones are so connected to our blood, and that's the delivery system, Ningxia Red is going to help all of your organs work synergistically together because it looks like our blood, right? It has essential oils in it, as well as wolfberry, aronia, sweet cherry, plum, blueberry, so many great concentrates. And it's also a puree, which you can, I think you can kind of tell. You have to shake it up before you take it. And you do 2 ounces a day to maintain regular health. With some of you guys that have things going on, you might want to do 4 to 6 ounces. Okay. So adrenal glands are most famous in the endocrine system because we need them to help with our energy. A lot of the time when you're having days where you're just like, man, I'm just done, it could be your adrenal glands. So one of the essential oils that's good, actually, maybe I have 2. Okay. One of the essential oils is good is nutmeg. Nutmeg is really great for your adrenals. As well as you want to make sure that you have great vitamin B. So I take super vitamin B in the morning when I know I'm at normal. I also can take this at night. You can take it at night, but it's great to help. It's an energy thing, right? And sometimes I will take it at night because I'm like, wait, have I had my vitamin B today? So for me, it's not going to keep me up or anything, right? I'm like, well, I need it, so I'm going to take it. The cool thing also with our Young Living supplements that really sets us apart from other supplements is they have the essential oils in them. For example, what do we have in this one? I think we have nutmeg in this one, if I remember correctly. Yep, nutmeg essential oil. So it kind of totes to the fact that it helps with the adrenals, right? But the nutmeg in this also helps the nutrients, the B vitamin, get absorbed into our body. The same thing with the essential zyme, and has peppermint. And then multi-greens has Melissa. Okay, so we also have our estrogen and testosterone that are just huge. I'm gonna kind of get a little bit more into some issues. If you ever have any of the following signs: tender breasts, mood swings, water retention, weepiness, if you have trouble getting up in the morning, even when you've had 9+ hours of sleep, Cyclical headaches and migraines, low libido, irritability, and quickly to anger, anxiety, your puffiness and bloating, bleeding changes, so you're like constantly, or you're spotting during your monthly, cold body temperature, that was another thing. I knew I had some hormone. I was like, I'm really cold. Anyways, cystic ovaries or polycystic ovaries, right? The list kind of goes on. I will text all of you or anyone who's watching the replay. You can email or text me, and I'm happy to text you this full list. But this is how you're going to know if it is a progesterone or estrogen issue, or that you're just out of whack. And most of those I mentioned, like, how many people do you know that cramp or have tender breasts and it's just like, they just call it normal nowadays? That's not normal. I have my monthly and I'm good, except for about 4 months ago. This is also totes back to the toxins in our environment. So me and Nate and my family, we stayed 1 weekend at an Airbnb, and then the next weekend, I walked in there and I tell you, I got an instant headache. I had to turn on the diffusers. I sprayed thieves in the air. I did everything I could, but I couldn't go and wash everything with my thieves laundry soap because I didn't bring it. But I knew what I knew, and I did my best to take care of it. Now, again, the next weekend, another, like, and people only know what they know. I used to use crappy cleaners too. And it wasn't necessarily a smell, you guys. For me, like, I can't even walk down the aisle in even health food stores, and they're organic. I get an instant headache. I'm very toxic sensitive. So those toxins affect everyone. But see, when I was a kid, I just got used to it. I had constant headaches all the time. I just called it normal. I don't get them all the time now because I use toxic-free products. So that's the importance of using Thieves household cleaner, our toothpaste, our mouthwash, literally all of our personal care products, and are really just becoming ingredient savvy and looking at your ingredients, really. Sodium lauryl sulfate, DH, SLS, propylene glycol, talc, bismuth, nanoparticles. Those are just a few that you have to really avoid. So you can balance your hormones with Progestins Plus. I kind of jumped ahead to get into some solutions because I know there's a lot of info. I was like, oh man, I need to do 2 of these classes. But Progestins Plus is a serum that helps support the endocrine system. It's with essential oils and wild yams. It's a property that helps support women's natural cycle, but it's not just for people that are women that are still menstruating. It's also for getting over that hump, menopause, right? If you're having a lot of hot flashes or anything, Progestins Plus can be amazing for that. Like, you might not even know you're transitioning. Amazing. I have only heard these testimonials. I have not used it for that for myself, and you should experience it for yourself. For me, I've definitely used it for my, just making sure that my hormones are good, right? So there's that. And it also has copaiba, frankincense, bergamot, and clove, and peppermints. The other thing, if anyone else is like, hey, I am getting a lot of like hot, or you're just hot all the time, peppermint essential oil on the back of your neck is amazing. I use it all the time when I'm going to work on my yard. So if you need a cool down, peppermint essential oil on the back of your neck is perfect. Or if your hormones are a little out of whack and you're on that time of your life, use that again on the back of your neck. So Femgen that is a supplement that I have texted all my team. I've literally just learned about. It's a natural phytoestrogen supplement that supports female health, and the benefits have dumquai, black coalish, amino acids, and essential oils. So black and blue coalish are plants and are natural sources of phytoestrogens. So everything is coming from nature. The FemGen can support bone health for both men and women. It aids in the brain, moods, bones, heart, skin, and other tissues. So it has clarity sage. Clarity sage is so amazing for our hormones. That was the other oil that I was looking for when I knew that something was up. I was like, oh, dang it, I'm out. Okay, I have Indoflex, which I'll tell you guys a little bit about Indoflex. So Indoflex, the vitality, like I said, I put it in my shot of Ningxia Red. You can also use gel caps. I just did 1 drop of Indoflex. If you're having a little bit more serious hormonal issues, you might want to start with 1, see how that feels for a week or 2, and then you can try 2 drops. This is all a little bit of experimenting, and it works. Trust me, it definitely works. It's amazing. So it has geranium, spearmint, sage, and myrtle. You can also rub it all over your thyroid gland 2 times a day. There's also Prenolin Plus cream, which has DHEA. Fun fact, as we age, our body stops producing, or it slows down the production of DHEA. So Prenolin Plus cream is huge. It helps just enhance low levels of hormones. It helps us produce our hormones, really. It's amazing. I usually do use Progestins Plus though. I recently learned, someone mentioned about facial hair. If you have any facial hair, like on your chin or on your lip, that means that your hormones are out of whack as a woman. Like if we have like a dark hair, you need to pluck that and be using either Progestins Plus or I mean, you could keep it, you could, but I would pluck it. Or the Prenolin Plus. That's and the Prenolin Plus is currently the only item that we have that has the DHEA. And like I mentioned, you're gonna want to use that because we just start slowly not producing it. It's the same thing with enzymes. If you want to have a healthy looking skin, youthful looking skin, you need to supplement your enzymes because we don't produce our enzymes as we start to age either. Essential Zyme is one of the ones that I have. This time of year though, I also do use Allerzyme, and I'll also rotate to detox Zyme. I just kind of rotate my enzymes out because I kind of think of a lot of this as our food. We should always kind of change it up. The same thing with our essential oils, which is why I'm giving you guys some options so you guys can play around with what essential oil is best for you. So there is Clarity Sage as a single, right? Like, and then there's just Sage, which Sage balances the estrogen and progesterone / testosterone to support both the nervous system and the adrenal cortex. So that is like huge. Ylang Ylang also supports our adrenal glands as well as nutmeg. And then fennel just supports all of our essential oils, or all of our productions, our glands, all of our glands. And I will tell you though, for anyone who is pregnant, do not use fennel. Fennel, you can only use fennel because fennel does help lactation. So after the baby is born, then that's when you start using fennel. The same thing with Clarity Sage. Clarity Sage, you use that when you are going into labor because it induces labor. So if you're pregnant or if you're trying to get pregnant, you will kind of use it to a point, and then you need to stop using it. So that's like another thing to know. Our hormones are really affected by our emotions. See, especially for us as women, men, you do get moody too, just a side note. But for us as women, when we get stressed out, that can really balance or imbalance us, create that unbalance. So with that, the hypothalamus, which is a part of the limbic center in our brain, is really going to respond to essential oils, because essential oils go directly through our nose to the limbic area where the hypothalamus is at. And they can help with our heart rate, our blood pressure, our mood. Like citrus oils are really uplifting. Lavender is really calming. Pine is great for our muscles, but it's also great for our lungs. There's just so many beautiful benefits, right? So in general, if you are freaking out a little bit, like fear and worry, that's going to affect the kidneys. Anger and rage are going to affect the liver and the gallbladder. All of this is going to kind of mess with the organs and or the systems in our body that are producing our glands and our hormones. So we have to really know and pay attention to our emotions. I just look at our emotions as guiding systems. So we do need to feel our emotions, right? Even all of them. But we can also be like, okay, hey, I'm crying right now. Am I really sad? All right, I can use gratitude, or I can use joy. Like, you can cry, but you don't want to stay there, right? You don't want to like stay there. So you can use those oils to help really uplift you and move back into that feeling of joy, or just into happiness, and help. So if you are, Thiromin. Why didn't I talk about Thiromin? So Thiromin is, if you have a really, how do I want to put this? If your thyroid is having some issues, I really do recommend Thiromin. But it's going to help with our metabolism, our energy, our body temperature, and helps calorie burning. So Thiromin is kind of proactively supporting the thyroid. And it has myrtle, which is good for healthy skin and hair. So these are the essential oils, plus it has other herbs in it too. Peppermint, which is great for our muscles, our bones, and our skin, and also keeping us cool, right? Myrrh is a powerful antioxidant, as well as it does help support our immune system, and our skin too. Myrrh is one of the oils I use on my face, just saying. And that's really the cool thing about all of this, is it's all connected. You can apply it to your skin topically, but then it's going to go into your bloodstream and help support your glands and your hormones. I think it's really fascinating and amazing. Perfect. I'm like, hey, it can help me feel great, look useful. It's awesome. So there's also dragon time. If you guys know that you get upset a lot, or you have a lot of moodiness during your monthly cycle, I would use dragon time. Also the physical ailments, right? Tender breast, a lot of cramps. Like, I can literally snowboard on my monthly. Also though, my emotions can get a little out of whack. So there's also that balance of understanding when you need to also rest, okay? It's your body, it's your life. Do with it what you will, right? But dragon time supports feelings of stability and calmness. So it's great to use during your monthly cycle. It contains fennel, clarity sage, marjoram, lavender, blue yarrow, and jasmine. I think we got a bottle free with the gift with purchase, and I used it 2 weeks before my monthly pretty consistently until that ran out. And I've usually been pretty good, except for what I mentioned about 3 or 4 months ago with those Airbnbs and the connections with toxins and how that does really affect our endocrine system. So please ditch your toxins. I'm happy to talk with all of you and give you a list and help you navigate through that. Lady Scleral also enhances the feminine nature, and it relaxes you. It has jasmine, bergamot, geranium, orange, and about, I think, 10 or 15 other essential oils. It can also be very alluring and seductive. Just throwing that out there. So it could be really great to use as a perfume, and also to use for the bedroom. So other well, we mostly have, does anyone want me to get into male hormones for your hubbies? Anyone live? Well, you can just type it in the chat and I'll briefly recap, because I will say Power Jize is technically a supplement for men, but it has ashwagandha in it, and I will take that every once in a while as well. So for me and personally, you got to understand and look at what all of the ingredients are and kind of think, okay, plus since it does have testosterone in it, and with a lot of our plastics, this is one of the reasons why I drink out of glass or stainless steel or ceramic. Especially if you're refilling plastic water bottles, you are continuously recreating estrogen. It's an estrogen mimicking toxin. So then we're getting more estrogen into our body, which messes even with us women, right? It messes with us women, but then it's also messing with our men and the frogs and everything. So yeah, so there is like this, we really want to do our best to especially not drink out of plastic. I will also say though, we're really spoiled in the wonderful world of Taos and having our own wells. That's such a great thing. Because I will say when I travel, I do drink out of plastic water bottles, because man, whew, the fluoride in water, whew, not good. The other reason why you want to drink out of glass is when you do apply, I'm gonna have to drink this later. Well, luckily I'm still home, because peppermint is also really good for your digestive health if you are not having bowel movements, just saying. So another tidbit, you can just put any of the Vitality citrus, so citrus fresh, lemon, lime in your water, and it's perfect. It's really good for your liver too. All right, so there are other oils for, and men can also use Thyromin, but I think, and if there's any men watching the YouTube, feel free to message me. I'm happy to walk you through that and give you my knowledge. Obviously, I can't do it from experience, but I'm happy to walk you through that. I'm going to unmute for my beautiful guests so they can have questions. Oh, first though, you're probably like, hey, how do I get all this great, amazing items? So there's a few different ways. The good way is you could say, hey, I'm just going to try some vitamin B because I understand that it's great for, or it's great that it has essential oils and it's going to absorb better. And I already take a vitamin B, so I'm going to upgrade. Perfect. Grab this at retail. You can use my link below, which is you can set up your account and it's easy. The better way is to join on either a subscription or to get $100 worth of products so that you save your 24%. And with that, you could literally get half of what I mentioned. 2 bottles of Ningxia Red is $76 at the discounted price. And you could grab the Ningxia Red and Progestins Plus, and you'd be at 100 PV, maybe a little over. And there you go. And you'll get a free gift. You'll get this month in April 2022. You're going to get a lemon, which lemon essential oil is just so bright and it's really great to help get sticky stuff off the surfaces. When you jump on a subscription, you're going to get points back to earn free product. So you could literally get something after a few months enough points to earn a free bottle of lavender, which is about 25. You could even earn more points. It just depends on what you're spending every month. With that, that's the loyalty points. And a subscription, when you spend 50 PV or more, you're going to get loyalty points back. It's like clipping coupons without having to spend the time to clip the coupons. Young Living just does it for you. It's really cool. So that's on how to get started. And I'm happy to walk anyone through that. Okay, I'm going to jump off or stop the recording.